Curling now enters the Sports Weekend spotlight.
Saturday night, curling night in Canada, and that's
I felt that.
Hi again, curling fans. I've got my rally cap on. Call huge games ahead.
You know, we know that they're all huge, right? But this one today for both Gushue and Jennifer to be able to bounce back after tough losses on what was Sweden Day in Canada. So they both lost to Hasselberg and Adine, and it's created this, so not a must win yet, but we're getting close. You really don't want to fall to 3 losses ever.
Canada versus USA, whenever you hear those two countries going up against one another at the Olympics, you know it's extra special. The women's hockey team won the first one. The men's hockey team won, the Americans winning last night. So now this call, Shuster, the defending Olympic champion at 2-2, Gushue at 2-2. I don't have to tell you what this means.
Well, and Shuster looked a little flustered after his loss to Norway in the mixed zone because he had ongoing issues with the rock not flashing on. So he had to call for an official a lot. And he, first off, that is a little distracting when it happens repeatedly. They don't, when it happens here at the Olympics, take the time to fix the rock right then and there. So Shuster did look a little flustered too. But, the other day I was on the call with Bruce Rainey for that, and Joanne for that, or was it Mike? How could I confuse those two? Don't say that. They're probably waiting there. It was a fascinating game, and Shuster was playing on fire, so that team's playing well. Gushue was uncharacteristically not Gushue yesterday. An alien invaded his body. Some of his misses weren't typical of what we ever see for Gushue. And he said after, he hasn't seen himself play like that in a long time. He is wearing that loss on his shoulders right now, which is probably good for the rest of the team that had a solid, for him to acknowledge that and not run from it. But the real Brad Gushue will show up today.
Well, we hope so. And I know Newfoundland and Labrador and everyone across the country hopes so, because there are nerves, no doubt. Let us know where you're tuning in from tonight as we get set for these games. Always love hearing from you, curling fans. 2 losses each for the Canadian curling teams. I did some research. The last 2 games, 4 losses has been the cutoff call. You don't want to drop to a third tonight.
Well, in that heartbreaking situation, we're so used to tiebreakers, and we love tiebreakers, although we have a love-hate relationship when you're covering them. And what time did you wind up at those Olympic trials in PEI? Like till
3 a.m. 3 a.m. Yeah.
So but yet here you're wishing, oh, gee, I wish there were tiebreakers, because you don't want it to come down to the one of the 2 options, and that's who beat who during the round robin game, which is what makes every round robin game, urgently important. But that draw to the button, LSD, that can be deadly, as we know. Both
just win.
Yeah. If only it were that simple.
Let's take a look at the standings, and then let's bring in the experts and have a chat about all of this. We have a huge show coming up, but there is the updated standings. A quick thought call on the men's side.
Yeah, with Sweden so perfect right now on the men's side, and Switzerland and Great Britain, both of those teams are hanging in there at 1, and there's the logjam at 2-2. Yep. We have talked ad nauseum about just how strong this field is, and the only ones that sort of aren't in it right now, but yet are so strong, are Denmark and Italy, and they've lost heartbreaking games. They're playing every team so tough.
Right.
So really, it's take nothing for granted ever.
Let's look at the women's standings now, and you see,
and Terrazoni and company. Sometimes they're a little frustrated out there too, but yet they're finding ways to win. Followed by Japan, who won. Oh boy, did they ever come up with a big win at the last second against Denmark yesterday. The Americans have looked strong, and we saw Korea in that first game. They're only lost to Canada so far. The parity in this field's deep. So we have the group that are at 2 losses.
Right.
And it's just going to be it speaks to the parity. I mean, one of the surprises, we were so impressed with Russia at the Worlds last year, and here they are at 0-4.
Right. All right. Let's bring in the experts, and I want to start with something that I was thinking about as I came into the booth tonight. It's going to be short and sweet and simple. Don't think too much about it. Is tonight's game against Shuster a must-win? Bruce, start with you.
Yeah, not by definition, but by spirit. It is. Got to get back on track right away. Don't mess around. You are Brad Gushue. You are one of the 2 or 3 best curlers in the world. You had a good sleep. Come on back out and blow these guys away.
Mike.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good analysis. And yeah, Brad, I like to hear that Brad was taking ownership of those 2 losses. Colleen, I know that couldn't hit the rings first 4 or 5 ends against Edine, which cost them, and then he missed that 1 shot against De Cruz. So it's how often do we say Brad's got to be better? Never. We never say that, actually. So I thought in the Swiss game it was 1 shot. It was not just 1 shot against Sweden. So that's a little bit more of a concern. But I don't doubt that they're going to come back stronger, and they're very good at all skips need to have a short memory, and I think Brad's good at that. He's got enough experience where I'm not super concerned, but if you can be underrated as a reigning Olympic champion, I think that maybe is what John Shuster is. So he's got to just take this seriously and give it up. Like I said to Bruce, they could do with a blowout.
And Joe, you've had time to think about it. Is it a must-win?
Yes.
Quick and concise.
Also, last time Team Canada won, I was wearing this shirt, so I'm picking it up.
We're pulling
Sorry,
up.
it wasn't good enough the last 2 days.
Thank you. Thank you, Joanne, for that, because often every curler I've interviewed just to get the superstitions, because who doesn't have superstitions? I think Bruce has to bring his Muhammad Ali shirt back. But
it's on.
Thank you. We all have superstitions.
We're pulling out all the stops tonight.
Put your hat on back.
Well, I got going here. I got Shakespeare. Does that count? Shakespeare's good, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a good Shakespeare quote.
We'll wax poetic during the show.
Yes, well, here's the quote, the Shakespeare quote: "To be or not to be." That is the question out there today.
I'll see if I can squeeze that in.
So what do we think? I mean, 2 losses, 4 has been the cutoff. Bruce, we were talking before we went on the air. You've been holding back some thoughts. Share them now.
So you want to know what Brad Gushue's made of. I just want to share this, and I don't know if it's proper in a setting like this to pay homage to one of the people on the panel, but I want to do that because if you go to cbc.ca today, they unveiled this incredible oral history of Brad Gushue at the 2006 Olympics in Torino, and I was lucky enough to be a part of that and the oral history. Those are really hard to do. They're really hard to do as a journalist. It looks like all you're doing is stringing quotations, but to have it mean something and to have it be poignant and heartfelt, you got to know what you're doing and put these together in the right way. Devin, man, oh man, this is a great read. It's a wonderful piece of work. And if you read that, it'll take 10 minutes out of your life and you'll feel great for the next year. If you read it, you'll see what Gushue's made of. You'll see the heart of a lion. You'll see what he overcame in 2006. It's a beautiful, beautiful read. And it's for reasons contained within that story that I think you're going to see this guy find something within and bounce back.
Thank you for that, Bruce. Thanks.
So well said. It is a beautiful story, not just because Bruce is in it, but
because Devin put it together. He did a great job. Just awesome.
It really is a hard thing to do. So good for you, Devin. Pardon me while I was scurrying. I felt like I was in a Klingon Star Trek battle and I needed more power. It came up. I was down to this much. You almost lost me, but I'm plugged in now, people. I'm plugged in.
Cole, anything else to add?
I was just glad to get the power. I had to go underneath that. It's a big job, okay?
It's a big job. Joe, on the women's side, you've been there. You've been there in these pressure games, and that's where Jennifer Jones and her team finds themselves tonight against the two-time defending world champions from Switzerland?
Yeah, the big thing for them is they just need to park what's happened so far and just start again tomorrow. And they just, like, there's the storylines that kind of come in your head. Oh, we've been struggling with this, this, and this. And I think they just need to take what they can from the previous games and just move forward with it. We're just seeing a little bit of, like, it's a little sloppy early and then getting back into it late. And I think if the women can have a strong start tonight, I like their chances.
Mike, this is an example too of Jennifer in the mix zone talking to her. She's trying to put that on her shoulders. And I'm like, okay, so you missed a shot in 5 and Anna made a super split for the 3 to make you pay. But she fought her shots down in 8, 9, and 10 down the stretch were, except missing that pretty tough shot with her last rock. I mean, I thought she's playing well. Where's the problem on this team right now?
Up the middle. They're getting outplayed at second and third right now, which is, again, weird to say for this team with Jocelyn and Caitlin. They're just, they're getting beat up the middle. So it's just, again, you have to park it, have that short memory, and try to just. Jennifer is very resilient. We saw that again. That game that should not have been close, and then all of a sudden, Jen, and Joanne in the telecast, they're just a hard team to put away. They're just going to keep coming at you. She had a shot to win that game. It was incredible, the fact they even had a chance in that game at all. And so this, I'd like to see them, as Joe said, I think they got to get off to a good start against Tierney. That's the tough thing. This is a team from top to bottom, lead to skip to fourth rock thrower. They're not going to make any mistakes strategically. Silvana's very sharp. Caitlin, if Caitlin can outcurl Silvana, I think they're going to win. I think you'll watch for that key matchup. Silvana on that team. Alina Petz is much like Jennifer Jones. She's clutch, right? She doesn't miss much under pressure. So you're going to have to get to the middle of their lineup if they want to beat Tierney. Tierney's amazing. They're two-time defending world champions for a reason. They're just a phenomenal team, top to bottom.
It's a huge night of curling ahead, and these games just intensify in importance. Can't wait to listen to you guys guide us through it tonight. Thank you.
We're excited. Looking forward to it. There's watch parties going on all over the States as well, Devin. I know you know that. So it's going to be an exciting night all in North America here. It should be great.
We're going to New York City for this show today. Perfect. Okay, awesome. So just one of the watch parties we're going to.
Love it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Before we go to New York City, we are going to the Rock call, and we are catching up with the Gushues because I know they're getting ready. And let's go to them right here. They are. Hello to the Gushues.
Hi.
Look at those Olympic rings. For you guys look fabulous, but the rings behind you. Wow. Who did that?
We actually had a local decorator come in and decorate the house for us, for the kids, where they can't be there.
Oh, that's awesome. I was going to say, you guys need to start a business if you're doing that behind you. Somebody does have a business. Awesome.
How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Nervous.
Ray?
How hard is it to watch from maybe 18,000 kilometers on the other side of the world for you guys?
Very hard. Very hard because you're not there cheering them on and yelling to try to get that rock to go in the right spot.
Well, if you were here, what would you say to them?
You're playing good, as far as I can see. And I think that they just got to stay focused the way they can stay focused. And I'm sure at the end of the day, we're going to be where we need to be and qualified for the playoffs.
And to the girls, what's this like to watch Dad at the Olympics? This is a nice time to watch the game tonight. What's it like to watch Dad at the Olympics?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Maureen, wonderful to see you, and thanks for doing this. How are you feeling, and what has this roller coaster been like for you through these first 4 games?
I'm feeling great, but it's nerve-wracking watching them.
Especially the last 2 games.
Yeah, the last 2 games, yeah.
What do we expect for tonight, guys? This is a big game whenever Canada and the USA play against one another. What does the team have to do tonight?
I think they got to come out strong and put pressure on them right at the beginning. And I think that when we show them that we're out there to play, I think that they're going to basically hopefully fold and shake hands after 8.
Shake hands after 8. I love that idea. I'd run for coffee. Okay, are you guys doing the drop it challenge too?
No. Too hard to get up.
And Ray, I see you've been the handyman as well, whatever it takes during the games. What was going on there with the plumbing? What is going on?
The toilet seat came loose. And so Krista went out and bought a new one. So just before the game in the morning, I decided to put it back on. And somebody took a picture.
Well, they might need you to come do some. They might need you to come do some work here, so it would be an emergency fly in and bring the plunger. Well, nice to see you. What else are you able to watch the middle of the night games, or how are you guys surviving? I know how Devon and Toronto's doing it, which is no sleep. But what's it like for you guys?
No sleep.
No, setting
No
alarms.
sleep.
Yeah,
Taking naps.
go to bed, get the few hours before the 2:30 game, and then go to sleep for a couple hours after.
And party after the last morning game until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Now we talked to Joe and Bruce have their lucky shirts on today. Devon's got his rally cap on too. What's your superstitions? What are you doing?
I wear a curling necklace all the time.
Awesome.
And plunger and the dryer and stuff. So I wear that.
Awesome. Keep that on. Anybody else?
Oh, we decided to wear. Brad sent home some extra of his shirt, so me and the girls decided to wear those. Nice.
Oh, great. Let's see it. Let's see. Stand up. Yeah.
She is standing.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that's great. Well, I like your prediction that let this be over after 8 ends. We can all use a little bit of not, settling our nerves time. So I like that idea. I'll never forget being watching a provincial championships with you at the curling club, and we were I don't want to say betting, but we had this little 50-50 thing going.
I remember.
Yeah, it was fun. All right.
That's the night you had to pay up several times, didn't you? Because you lost.
Yeah.
Do we have a Team Canada cheer?
Okay.
Do the girls have any?
Go Canada, go.
Okay.
Go Canada, go.
Awesome. All right, guys.
And that's what we're used to hearing when you're in the rink with us. So thank you for saying that.
Awesome of you guys to make time for us. I know everybody there and everybody across Newfoundland and Labrador is getting ready for this game. Let's send out all the good vibes and get ready for this good game. And no doubt the boys have been here before and they can get on a roll. So enjoy it and wonderful to see all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
There is always one game that's a blip, if I dare say so myself, where you go, well, what was that? It's just an anomaly and not time to panic. A third loss gets to be panic time. A third loss too early in this bonspiel, as you like to call it.
Absolutely.
That little bonspiel called the Olympics.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. I think we're going to a super fan call who undoubtedly has so many connections to the game of curling. Let's go to Melvin right now because I know he's excited to be part of the show. And Melvin,
Hi, Melvin.
Hi, Colleen. Hi, Devin.
Nice for you to join us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you share. Is that a Korean shirt you're wearing there, by the way?
This is the actual jersey that was signed by the whole the Team Kim members and given to my daughter Emma at the 2018 Ford World Curling Championships in North Bay.
Okay, so you live in Ontario. Tell me your connection to the Korean team. How did that start?
I'm going to try to condense this. I know this is limited time, but 2003, the Koreans actually qualified the men for the World Curling Championships, first time ever, I organized a cheering party of about 20 to 30 Koreans there in the picture.
Wow.
And the Korean coach bounded up to us in the stands and wanted to go out to dinner with me and some of these friends of mine, so that she could ask me to connect her to a Winnipeg area curling club that had been recently built, so that she can build the first dedicated curling club in Korea. And so I connected them with the Fort Garry Curling Club. But soon after that first connection, I lost contact. And so 15 years later, at the World Championships in North Bay, upon my daughter's frantic like begging of me, we met the team, and then I basically met up with this man who is managing curling in Korea, and found out that they had actually taken, there's a picture of my family with the team there.
Wow.
My daughter's just above the Korean flag, flanked by Eun Jung Kim and Sun Young Kim.
Yeah.
So they had actually taken the blueprints from Fort Garry Curling Club and built that Uisung Curling Center, where the Garlic Girls actually learned how to curl and practiced.
Incredible.
Wow, that's incredible. And you know, Devin and I were in Pyeongchang, so we saw the frenzy media attention for the Garlic Girls there. It was just wild.
Yeah.
What impact has that had on the growth of the sport in Korea? Do you know?
Well, at that time, I think there was a golden opportunity for Korea to just explode the sport of curling in 2018. I don't know if you know the epilogue of that story. The Team Kim curlers had a press conference in October of the same year, really revealing that they had been abused. There was stolen money from the bond spiels, the cash money that they had won. And so that management team was investigated and was banned for life from curling in Korea.
Wow.
And so the second part of the story was Eun Jung Kim actually reached out to me to get reconnected to Peter Gallant to have him coach them. That was actually taken this past October when they were in Toronto. And Cho Hee is actually photobombing in the center there. That's who that is. But I was able to reconnect the team. And I'm hoping I had a small part to do with them getting back to Beijing.
I'm sure you had a little bit of magic going on there. That's a really powerful story of how somebody in Canada can make this connection. Tell me about curling in Canada for the Korean community, especially. I asked if we see an impact on that in Korea, but do we see it within Canada?
I love that question, Colleen. So 2018, the Korean community, I think it was Leaside Curling Club, actually reached out to the Korean community and did like a learn to curl, and several dozen Koreans came out and learned how to curl for the first time. But after 2018, there was a bit of a downslope, right? And so what me and the very few Korean Canadians that do curl we're hoping for is that Team Kim would have a good performance here in Beijing, and both in Korea and here in Canada, that rise and that interest back up, so that hopefully curling would expand. And if we could take this opportunity, what I would love to do is reach out and ask curling clubs, my own curling club and ones across Canada, to reach out to ethnic communities, invite them to and welcome them into your clubs and to try this amazing game, because it is, Colleen and Devin, you both know, so cool to play, and it's so much fun. And just to see more ethnic diversity and inclusion.
Wouldn't that be an awesome thing? And in fairness to curling clubs, I know I've said this before, we've had Andrew Paris on, who's doing a fabulous job trying to encourage BIPOC youth, especially, to take up the game, is that the curling clubs are run by volunteers. And so they're busy making ice, painting walls, doing everything at a club. And so the last thing they ever think about often is the membership drive, except it's almost an afterthought at the end of the day. But that's not an excuse. It could also be, coming from the national body as well to encourage more people. Because wouldn't it be fabulous someday to see a more diverse crowd here at the curling venue and at curling clubs across Canada?
Absolutely. So, Colleen, can I just say, I think, because I've been watching curling for quite some time, I miss your kilts. I wish we could see more curlers, even the men, Curl and kilts.
Men
I'm
in kilts.
former member of the Canadian Forces, so tradition and uniform, all of this means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
it
am.
was really cool.
I am surprised we don't see a few sort of Taylor Swift kind of style, short little tennis skirts out here. I think it would that kind of kilt like the hip ones, not the ones we wore, but
That's right.
ours were hip in the day, weren't they? Who am I kidding?
Good.
Thank you for reminding me of the kilts. I might pull mine out of the closet, Melvin.
Yeah, will match well with your lumberjack outfit.
You know the great thing about kilts, though, I can tell you right now, you can have like a fat meal and gain weight, and that kilt still fits you. No, because there's so much fabric in a kilt. It's like it's the perfect outfit. There's not a waistband per se. You're wrapped in cloth. Think Mel Gibson in
Mel Gibson in Braveheart. There you go.
Thank you. That was a good look. That was
Okay, you two. Okay, you two.
We'll stop.
Melvin.
Thank you for all the points, Melvin. Yeah, it was so nice to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. Really, really appreciate it. And Devin, congratulations on getting to Beijing for the Paralympics. I'll be watching you there.
Thank you. That's very kind, Melvin. Wonderful to talk to you.
And Melvin, we're not going to ask you for a Go Korea Go. We want to Go Canada Go rant today.
Oh, we'll do it. We'll do it. Go Canada, go!
Yes. All right.
Innate.
Awesome.
Thank you, Melvin.
Thank you.
Colleen, I don't know, but these lights are going on and off here again. It's like the ghosts of curling up in this room, but here we are.
You could be in the dark soon, and I'm losing power, honestly. Captain Kirk, we need more power. That was Scotty.
Let's wrap it up because not wrap it up. Let's go to New York right now to the Canuck bar where I know they're getting ready to go. And let's go into the house. What's the scene? Take us into that. Oh, look at the American flag.
We got a bit of an invasion here.
How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
Doing really
good.
Is there a Royal Canadian Mountie in the back there?
Yeah, there's a couple of Mounties right here in the back that have joined us as well.
Awesome. Obviously, it looks like things are starting to get into full swing there. What's going on and what's the vibe as we get ready for Canada, USA?
Yeah, we've got the absolute perfect venue here. This is New York's newest Canadian bar in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan. Dennis, the owner here, has been kind enough to host us for a watch party. And half of, not half, but maybe a third of our existing club in Brooklyn is Canadian. A third, like myself, are upper Midwesterners. So we've become quite a friendly little group of curlers in New York City.
I love it. Oh, I think
Olympics.
Go ahead, Cole.
And we saw the upswing in popularity of curling, and we're seeing it with more clubs there too. But do you feel that there's more interest in Shuster and company south of the border?
Yeah, 2018 was such a huge catalyst for curling in the United States, and I think you see it in the kind of professionalization and the changing nature of new curling centers popping up. They look a lot more like entertainment centers rather than VFW's with ice heads. There's great new facilities in Los Angeles, Nashville, a new one outside of Denver, Cleveland. There's probably a dozen great new professional looking facilities across the U.S. And New York is, at this point, is feeling left out. We do not have one. Our little club, we're about 120 members. We get Wednesdays and Sundays on the ice in Prospect Park in Brooklyn. And that's all the ice time we can get right now. So we are kind of at the mercy of the schedule. And we're working to get a dedicated facility because I know we've talked with USA curling folks, talked with a lot of folks in Canada, in the curling scene up there, of just how big it would be to have a full-size curling center in New York City. You can tell by the Mounties behind us. I think there's something like 40,000 expat Canadians living in New York City. It would be easy, very easy to fill the center up. And so we're working hard at it. As a little aside, I heard one of you guys is a fan of Scarb. So we've got our own flipping curling star.
Oh,
we'll be
nice.
happy to send one up for the show.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And that I think will be a perfect addition to the wardrobe. there's a lot of American flag and paraphernalia behind you. Can you show us around? I don't know if you're able to show us around or give us a...
Maybe I can step outside of the shot here. This is the Canuck. As you'd expect, a large moose mouth over the bar. Got some Mounties in the shot. We've got our USA curling fan. It's predominantly a hockey bar, but I think after this, we're going to turn it into a curling bar.
Outstanding.
Does it get loud in the bar, by the way, when the game is on?
Oh, yeah. They've had this kind of immediate success. I know Dennis is right over here. He's the owner. And it's just found, really tight group of Canadians that love to come and watch hockey. The Chelsea Piers rink complex is only a few blocks away, so it was a natural spot for him to have. So they have a lot of people coming out for rec hockey. And
what's the specialty? What's the specialty curling drink, by the way? Because there's got to be an Olympic curling cocktail, doesn't there? Or just beer?
I haven't asked Dennis yet. That we're so busy in the New York market with media requests, and we're the only curlers in town. So anytime NBC, ABC, Fox, whoever wants to do a push on curling, it's us. So we've had the most insane week of media events, fly curling, and all out of our tiny little club in Brooklyn.
A question. I don't know if you're able to do this, but are you able to yell out to the crowd and get a sense of how many people are cheering for the United States and how many people are cheering for
shout
Canada?
it out.
Who's here for Canada? Who's here for the USA? All of our club. They were being very polite, I think, and not trying to make noise in the camera.
Right, while you're on air.
Yeah.
You probably told them to be quiet.
Yeah.
Anyhow, what do you... Oh, okay, tell us your pick for the USA-Canada game and why. Because Shuster's been great. Gushue's usually great.
It's... I really like the way Shuster and company have played their first couple games. They have had a couple of tough breaks with some shots. The Gushue team is also mixed strong, but it's had their moments with struggles. I think this is going to be really telling for what the rest of the round robin is going to look like.
Do the Mounties want to get on the show? Do you want to take out your earbuds and get the Mounties on the show?
You want to come on air? Yeah, this is CBC. Say hello.
Can you hear us? And we can't hear you very well, so I don't know if you need the other earbud.
We are allowed, sharing earbuds perfectly acceptable.
Well, New York, so it's fine right now, right? In terms of sharing earbuds, sharing everything, no one's wearing masks, but how are you doing?
How are
your background's pretty epic right now, I have to say. No offense to you, Devin. Sorry.
I love your Mountie outfit. I wish I had one. Was it a Halloween costume or did you get it special for this?
Oh, yeah. Well, as a Canadian, I made it specially made. But no, I lied. My partner has a more legit outfit. I just bought this online for a previous Halloween party about 2 years ago. And finally, I get to wear it again. So.
And you're a curler as well?
I have curled before.
Okay.
The most beginner you can get. I curled last year, I think I would say. So about a year ago at Prospect Park in Brooklyn, even though I'm Canadian, I've never ever curled in Canada. And then I come to New York and I've curled. So
Where are you from? Where are you from in Canada?
La Province de Quebec. I'm from Montreal. So I'm from Quebec. And then I sent a friend, an American friend that curled this week, and she's here this evening, and she said that she had the biggest bruise on her knee from curling in Bryant Park. So it's good. It's catching on. We got to get people excited about it because a lot of people don't understand just the point system. So that's
right.
Yeah. which you guys are experts at. I'm not. So
Yeah. Well, all sports have sometimes a little bit of a weird point scoring. Like look at tennis, you know, for example. But I find Americans catch on to it pretty darn quick, and they become armchair quarterbacks in a hurry. You guys have fun there for the game, USA
Thank
Canada.
you. Yeah, no. It's a full house. And there are not very many Canadian bars in New York, so it's a good turnout. That's for sure.
You're it. Right? Well, I know where to head next time I come down to New York for
Absolutely.
a show.
Absolutely.
You should. And I didn't mean to steal the spotlight, so I'll give these dirty earpods back. So it was nice meeting the two of you. Sorry.
She didn't mean to steal the show. She just popped up behind your shoulder. Yes. Anyhow, that was awesome.
They're always watching.
Yeah. Well, no kidding. Any closing thoughts as we get ready for the game? 24 minutes away. I know it's going to be rocking there, and I know everybody's excited about this. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, we're just so excited to hopefully finally fulfill the dream of full-time curling center in New York. We'd love to have people go to brooklyn.curlingcenter.com and check it out. We'd love to have folks in the clubs up in Canada come down and Conspiel with us someday. I know we've got a very large, robust Canadian community in town that would love another clubhouse to play in. And it's really possible. It's just, we're in both the best and the worst place to do this, being in New York City. It's real estate and money. And, they can both be in short supply at times. So we're very hopeful and just with what we've seen with the growth of curling, it's going to happen.
Here come the hockey sticks. I love it.
All they need is
awesome message. Grow the game. We love seeing the sport of curling grow, and we are so grateful for you putting this together, and enjoy it down there tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
We've had the Gushue clan and St. John's getting ready for the game, and right down to New York City and everywhere around the world. So.
When we can call, I think we need to do a show live from New York City from that bar.
Okay, I'm in. Count me in.
All right. There it is. Canada, USA, 8 p.m. Eastern time, the big game. And then right after that, you'll be able to catch your breath, fill up whatever drinks you have and snacks you need. Canada, Switzerland at 1 a.m. Call, any last thoughts from you before we get ready for this?
No, it's just going to be a great day of curling. And of course, both Canadian teams have to show up. Today, all 4 players. It's anytime you've got one that's just a little bit off, and we saw that on the men's side, we saw it on the women's side. You're going to have trouble winning games in a field like this. So it's show up day for sure. Can't wait.
Can't wait. The teams are on the ice warming up. We're warming up. We hope you're ready to go, curling fans. Enjoy it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks. See you tomorrow, and thanks, producer Soph.